Calling out, Father, oh, stand by and we will watch the flames burn open on the mountainside.
The Hobbit, The Desolation of Smaug. I found this film better than the previous one. I enjoyed the characters more. The story was more well focused. And quite frankly, this is a film I had a lot of fun with. Thankfully, this film was worthwhile and it didn't drag on too long in terms of the story. It actually made more sense to me. So the story of this one is that taking place shortly after the events of the first movie, Bilbo Baggins and the dwarves continue their quest to Lonely Mountain in order to encounter the dragon Smaug. And from there, it's a movie that not only was I more invested in with the story, but I overall had a very good time with this one. Overall, there were several things I liked about this film. The new characters, the new location, the visual shots, the costumes, the music, which I admit may not be as epic as it was in the previous film, but it's still a joy to listen to. It all comes together and makes a movie that quite frankly is probably one of the best films that came out back in 2013. Thankfully, there's no absurd moments in this one. It takes itself more seriously. And I will say, if they had broke out in song again, the dwarves, then I would have been agitated with this one. And because of the serious tone, then I'm able to appreciate this film even more. At the end of the day, though, this is a film I thoroughly enjoyed, like I mentioned before, and quite frankly, it gets a lot of things right. Now, there are two scenes in this movie that are actually my favorite. The first is when Bilbo and the dwarves, they go down a river in the barrels. I thought that was real intriguing and it was fun as well. The second is the introduction of Smaug. Now, Smaug, he is an intelligent, cunning, he's menacing, and Benedict Cumberbatch actually did an awesome job voicing the character. Martin Freeman, once again, he did a good job playing Bilbo Baggins. His character is better than this. He's courageous, he's brave, and he willingly puts his life on the line when he saves his friend from those giant spiders earlier in the film. And, Gandalf the Grey, once again, always great. Ian McKellen, I already mentioned this before in the past, but he's a great actor. And Thorin himself, I feel like he is a better character as well within this. So because there are two scenes that he really stands out, and it made me appreciate the character more. And Angeline Lilly and Orlando Bloom, they also was the standouts of this film. And I must say that when it comes to overall plot, it was great. I was entertained, just like I mentioned beforehand. And when I really think about it, I was like, why it took me so long to finally get to this film. But this movie right here, it does wonders. It makes you care about the characters, get invested in the story. You even get a little bit frightened for these characters' fates because of how dangerous Smaug really is. When it comes down to it, is this a perfect movie? Of course it isn't. Every film out there has some kind of flaw to it. But it is engaging and it's very entertaining as well. I'm giving this film an 8 out of 10. Despite my positives on this movie, I do have to point out one thing I ain't quite like, and that is there's a subplot where Gandalf goes on his own adventure. And to me, it did feel out of place a little bit. Now, granted, it wasn't a terrible subplot, but his help would have been much appreciated considering how powerful he is. But other than that, this is a really good film. I enjoyed it, looking through it. It made me all that more excited to see how this trilogy comes to a close. Nonetheless, though, both fans and non-fans alike, they will appreciate what this film is, they'll enjoy it, and they will be thoroughly entertained of how great this movie really is. And that is my review of The Hobbit, The Desolation of Smaug. Alright, leave your comments down below in the section, and let me know what you think about this movie. My review of The Hobbit, The Battle of the Five Armies is coming up next. Okay. This is Slim Guy 172 saying, peace out.
Oh, should my people fold, then surely I'll do the same. Confined in mountain holes, we got too close to the flame. Calling out fire. replaced by